Greetings to the masses out there. This is your boy Bob, your favorite white boy from Trini Vibe TV. We here tonight, we in Calgary, joined by the king himself, Mr. Luciano, right? So, we lie in here at the Clarion Hotel in Calgary. And all of a sudden, blessed by a presence, the king himself walk in. So, Mr. Luciano, how you going tonight? How everything going in
Greetings, Bob, and the blessings, man. Good to be here. I've been on the road, just meeting and greeting some of the fans in Calgary, and it's been a great day so far, The energy, the vibes, the reception, the people, the anticipation. It's great. It's going great.
this is your first time in Western Canada or in Canada?
I think I've been to Calgary some time ago, but a couple of years back.
Many years ago.
Yeah, man, it's long overdue now, for another show, for the people to get a real nice vibes with the messenger.
So, as you say, the messenger, the fans and them want to know how were you given the name the messenger?
Well, I'm a Bible man, reading the Bible, I realize the musicians and singers and players of instruments are referred to as messengers in the Bible, and especially in the book of Malachi. And I read about preparing the way, the messenger would come to prepare the way for the Lord God would suddenly come to his temple. And so I see where, as singers and players of instruments, we are really an inspiration for the people. So I see where we have to utilize this gift that God has given and send a positive message. And this is how I see, because it's not just singing and dancing, it's also inspiring the people to a better life.
Now, over the years, you have had one of the more extensive careers in reggae music, and you are one of the more successful Jamaicans to come out of Jamaica. What has been your driving force behind your entire career?
Well, I love music. I have a passion for music, a passion for life, passion for my people. And I've always been interested in somehow inspiring the people. Because ever since, I've watched the works of Bob Marley, listened to the hard works of Dennis Brown, just to name a few of the great, Burning Spear, Jimmy Cliff, and I said to myself, man, I want to be just like these great people. Marcus Garvey, the great Messiah, a great inspiration for me, and I read a lot of books coming up. I've always been keen on history, and I've always wanted to, somehow make my life worthwhile. And I think the best way is to really be an inspiration for the generation. And music is one of the greatest mediums through which I could have really done so. Because music it's one good speaker, they say, it's great when whatever you can do, make a job. If you can be happy with what you're doing, then that's the secret to success.
It's no longer a job, it's a passion.
It's a passion, man. But you see, it's also a means through which I can earn my living, and at the same time, I can be an inspiration for the people. So that's the beauty about it. And it allows me to meet people. I travel the world, I go places. It's a great, very great mission. A great job. I love it, man.
For sure. Now, right now in the Caribbean, and this goes from Jamaica to Barbados to St. Lucia to St. Kitts, Barbuda, Antigua, Trinidad, Dominica, we have a hard time happening right now in the Caribbean. And a lot of the youths, especially in the ghettos of the Caribbean, having a hard time to escape that. And they look to music a lot of the time, whether it be hip hop, R&B, reggae, dancehall, whatever it is. But they look to the music to help pull them from that. What message, as the messenger, what message could you pass on to the youths?
Well, firstly, we have to remember now, life is nice when if you could have party all day, but life is not all about partying, At least one day out of the week, a man can take a little time and, for recreation. But you have to remember also, you have to be able to earn a living and have something coming in and to be self-reliant. So it's good to learn a skill. And this is one way, music is a good way to unify the people and to celebrate life and for fellowship. But at the end of the day, you have to remember now that music came out of a hard working set of people, because out of slavery, I in the cane fields, we used to sing song by the rivers of Babylon, where we sat down So this whole chanting thing, this reggae, is as described by a great writer. He says, music is the heartbeat of the people. It's the cry of the poor set to a rhythm.
Right.
So we have to always remember now, even in our singing and dancing, we have to remember tomorrow coming and we have bills to pay and we have youths growing up and we have a lot of responsibilities. So in the whole process of being jolly and enjoying ourselves, we have to also make the preparation for our future.
Right.
And also, so we want to encourage the youngsters, learn a skill, get a trade, so that they can be self-reliant, because we can't depend on people to get jobs or create jobs for us. We can create jobs for ourselves, whatever, if it's welding you do, or if it's mechanic work or art and craft, whatever, do something with your time that that it can be worthwhile.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Don't know. All right, so we hear Luciano live. Now, watch me. One thing we like to ask artists, young, old, don't matter, is we like to get into the personality. So one of the fan questions was to ask Luciano was, when you're traveling and you have your staffs with you,
Yes, man.
where you pack your staffs?
Well, honestly, I work with this straight way,
Right.
right through the airport and through checkpoint and everything. I used to have a problem, but if I come across, sometimes you have some security that can give a little problem, and let them know that this is my staff,
Mm,
and it's a part of my spiritual tradition.
right.
So I let them know, I have no intention to harm no one. It's really my spiritual,
Correct, correct.
yeah,
And
spiritual rod.
connection.
Yeah, man.
Right,
Yeah, man.
right. Now, one last thing before we go is over the years we've been interviewing young and elder artists alike, people who are now coming into the game, people who have been in the game for a long time. And what we have found, last year we interviewed Third World, the entire band, and this is
Nice.
post Bunny.
Nice.
And what we found was a humbleness from the elder generation,
Yes,
and what we
yes.
find is a bit of a, I wouldn't say cockiness, but a bit of a
Arrogance,
over
man.
arrogance from the younger generation.
Yes, man. I noticed it too.
So what I like to ask the elder generation is, do you remember your first glimpse, your first glimmer, your first taste of success, of that stage show, of that DJ, of that dance hall, of that whatever it may be? And can you pass that on to the youths? Because we have so many youths coming up nowadays that, like the Popcorn and the Alkalines and them of Jamaica, the dancehall artists, that may have, and I'm not saying Popcorn and Alkaline are, but may have that sense of an arrogance. Can you remember your first touch of success?
Well, I remember the first time my song was played on the radio.
Mm.
And that was a great feeling for me. And I knew from then on that something big is going to happen with my life. But, I think because I'm mature, because at the age when I was just about 29, 30, going into 30 when I got my break. So I was fully matured.
Mm.
And, I'm well read. I grew up in the church. So I have certain principles which I realize that, as the Bible says, if a man build a house and don't build it in your name, he laboureth in vain. And the Bible tells you again that he that exalteth himself shall be abased. So I use the word as my guide. Every time I feel like I'm going to come out of line, I just use the word and get myself back in line. So I think some of these youngsters need to take time out, take a page out of the books of the greats. Because even Bob Marley, one of the greatest that could ever walk the face of the earth, he was very humble. You go to his place, that man, when you pass him sitting on the sidewalk, you don't know it is him. So, I just want to remind them, especially these youngsters, that the elders who paved the way for them and need the foundation, they must not forget. They can't forget those great pioneers who have made it possible for them. And so sometimes, even them, I find that, even me as an elder, sometimes we approach these young artists, I can feel the arrogance
Right.
in them. But, it just all this will too pass, because, the sooner they realize that with this hype and with this publicity and all this fame comes a responsibility. So it's just a matter of time them start looking at themselves and realize it's not all about this fame and glamour.
Yeah, yeah,
And the sooner the better. The sooner them realize that, the better it is for them.
right.
Yeah, man.
For sure. Now, over the years, just a couple more to go. Over the years, you have had an extensive career in terms of who you have collaborated with. On the way here tonight, just alone, we hear you and Sizzler, you and Landlord, you and Terra Fabulous. Just that
Louis
alone.
Culture,
Well,
very man.
right.
I've done so many collaborations, and I think it's a good way to double your energy and your message. Cause when I want to hear me and Cockatee or me and Capleton, you know, the message it's stronger. Honestly, it's like two hands lifting something. It must be a better lift
Correct.
than you have one man trying to lift the weight. So when two of us, collaborate and send out a message, it has to be stronger. And as a matter of fact, it appeals to the fans of both artists, which makes it even better. Yeah. And I think once the message is positive and strong, it's a good thing.
I don't think the reggae fans of the world have ever heard a negativity from your or any collaboration that you've done music wise or your entire aura. It's always been a positive message. Has there ever been anyone that, not that you regret, but that you may have missed the opportunity to work with and that you wished you had the opportunity to work with over the years?
Man, I tell you the honest truth, I met the King Dennis Brown, because I never get the chance to meet Bob Marley. Because by the time I came to town and, he had passed away. But when I met Mr. Dennis Brown, I really, we spent some time like in the studio, like we do some dubs and so on. From time to time I would see him, but we never got the chance to like work together, like do something together. And I really feel a way about that. But my way to show my respect and my honor is just to continue where we left off, Because even some of the songs, there's an album I have called The Deliverance, which was a great song written and done by Mr. Dennis Brown himself. So this is one good way to show him, and most of his rhythms I sing on,
Right.
But really, he's one of the great, definitely. Well, I really should have done a collaboration with him.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, so maybe the world missed out too, not only you missed out.
It's true, it's true.
Right. So we want to take time to say thanks so much. We know right now is 10 past 11 at night. The King himself is sitting down here with us. The last question before we go is, Luciano is considered a cornerstone of reggae music, a pillar, a stronghold in reggae music right now. Do you feel a pressure to continue, or do you feel you've been given an opportunity and it's a blessing to just keep giving?
That's it, man. That's it. The second,
A blessing.
it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing and a great opportunity. As I say, when I started out as just loving to sing. So singing was a hobby for me. And then I realized, ever since Garnet Sick transition, when Garnet Sick passed away, I realized, that it was my responsibility to just carry it on from there. That same night when he passed away, there was a show in Mandeville. I had performed and was waiting on him to come and close the show. How I see it, it's like Elijah and Elisha. He went up in a chariot of fire. Elijah went up in a chariot of fire, and Elisha had to just continue on the mission. So when Garnet was taken up in the fire, I see where I just have to continue and give the people spiritual food and message, strengthen them, let them know that God lives and there's a living spirit that reigns in man. Once you think positively, stay on the spiritual side, God can work miracles, and the same God 1,000 years ago is the same God today. God don't change, So once we have the faith and keep holding straight and keep working hand in hand and mind and soul and body, we can really create a better world for humanity and a better environment for the generation that's coming. So I see it as a mission for me, and I really love this work I'm doing. I find joy in doing it. It's great to make people happy, and to sing for people and see people moving and dancing and shouting my name, man.
Well,
Great feeling, man. And walking on the streets, hi Lucci, How are you, man? You know, it's a great feeling, man.
And globally too, they recognize you globally.
Globally. Certain songs like Lord Give Me Strength, I can't perform and don't sing certain songs.
Yeah,
Lord
yeah.
Give Me Strength, It's Me Again, Jah, and you know,
Right,
Your
right.
World and Mine. Certain songs really landmark.
Well, I don't think I could do this interview without passing up the opportunity to say, if I was to start a couple lyrics, all I need you to do is finish them. So if I was to say, give praise to Rastafari.
And all praises unto Jah, yeah.
You see, I don't have that kind of voice. That's why he's the messenger. He on stage tomorrow night, live in Calgary. To those of you all watching around the world, make sure and stay locked to Trini Vibe TV, always. This is Luciano. This is Bob Gomez. This is the King. This is the messenger himself. You heard it first from Trini Vibe TV. King, thank you very much.
Man, I say man is doomed to die. Dodina Babylon is war and strife. Grief and terror and tongues of hate. This I know will soon abate. For I have seen the land of my father in a vision. Yeah, yeah, man, the messenger is in town. Just say, I am a messenger.